Chapter 8. Fundamental Ways to Tackle Corruption. In the name of objectivity, if there is such a thing, let me confess that if corruption can't be reduced, we should at a minimum manage it and make good corruptions out of it. I am not advocating a panacea for corruption, but embracing good corruption by majority of citizens will go a long way to change the lives of many. This is possible for the most part because human beings are capable of solving problems or managing changes if they are so determined. The current leader of Kenya is trying to do just that with the protesters. No one can attempt what the protesters are doing and get away with it in my country of hope. If men and women can be sent to the moon, or if weapons of mass destruction can be invented and contained, to date then, there is no reason corruption can't be contained and managed. There is one major obstacle, however. Human beings are not machines that can easily be programmed infinitum. Humans are fluid and inconsistent. It is always difficult to change minds, but it can be done, at least on a limited basis. Many had done it autocratically. However, to achieve the objectives of corruption management and put unproductive corruption behind us, there are certain steps that must be taken. There are certain mental capacities we must have and maintain. There are certain environmental conditions that must be available to support such efforts. And finally, everyone must be ready and willing to do what is right for the good of all without fear or favor. As the saying goes, you can force a horse to the river, but you can't force the horse to drink. Under corruption management, however, we will force the horse to the river and force it to drink from the water we want. One reason corruption has not been eradicated, among other reasons, is that folks are not equipped to do what it takes to do so. We need to admit corruption and save time denying it. Folks just do not care, even when a simple loving and caring heart will do the trick. Many of us do not have hearts, even if we do. Since we are still breathing, the hearts are contaminated with the status quo of bad corruption. What is more, education about corruption is never part of our educational development, good or bad. Human beings can be programmed to do some good, if so determined. We just need the resolve to do it. In my country of hope, we have too many diversities that make united front against corruption impossible. Too many tribes, ethnicities, religious persuasions, cultures, and irreversible damages that had been done to the souls of the citizens of hope for so long that the genie is out of the bottle on corruption redemption. No wonder it has been difficult to achieve much of anything together as a union. Talk less of combating corruption with one unified voice and resolve. For instance, if a nucleus household can't put their household in order, how do we think we can easily put the community or nation together? Corruption has become the only lingua franca everyone understands. Children under 10 years can lecture anyone about it. Many of them have become corrupt before they can spell their names. In my sociology class this week, I read about a country where children under 13 years old can't be left alone. I just smiled and said to myself, Jesus, I have been going to the store for my mother and staying home alone since I was 5 years old. My point is, we can do anything at any age, only if we agree to do it in order to change for the better. Even at that, there's no unanimous agreement on the solutions. I dare you, ask 10 folks in the diaspora, 9 out of the 10 will tell stories of how they had been ripped off, one way or the other, by friends, family members, strangers, and associates. Ironically, 8 out of the 9 had probably ripped off other people too. I know what I'm talking about. I have been a victim of 2 of my 9 out of 10, just referenced. I am tempted to name names, but I won't. My hope in managing corruption can be described with one word: possibility. Managing corruption is only possible if the citizens are willing to take a leap of faith and do what is better for most citizens, only if they care. Why is it so hard to care for others? The most difficult problem is how to convince citizens to see the benefits of good corruption. Frankly, I do not think we can. None of us is willing to be our neighbor's redeemer. To achieve the possibilities of solving corruption matters, we must be realistic and stop the political messaging, advocating one fatherland under one political or management system. Sadly, it won't happen. Let us start to improve and unite one community, one tribe, one culture, one at a time. Then, maybe we can achieve anything together as a country before advocating one continent, under whatever name we brand it. Let me take a cue from historical speeches many leaders had made for the unity of the fatherland. These notable African leaders, the Pan-Africanisms, spent most of their lives advocating continental unity. To date, Their efforts have failed. Then, some tried regional unity. That has failed as well. One regional unity had broken off already. The reasons these efforts failed and will continue to fail is simple. They refuse to recognize that the leaders encompassing or forming the continental unity are the same people who couldn't get their own individual country in order. They talk as if coming together under one roof with a brand new name will change their resolve. It is similar to asking all Christians to have one church under one name, brand name. It hasn't worked, and any objective person knows it won't happen. Go ahead and count how many Baptist churches in your neighborhood, all branded. The following leaders, at one time or the other, advocated for one currency, one military establishment, one passport, one embassy, one economic basket for the fatherland. To date, none of their dreams has been fulfilled. Their dreams will never come to pass, considering who we are as Homo sapien. Toussaint Louverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Haile Selassie, Edward Wilmot Blyden, Patrice Lumumba, Julius Nyerere, Robert Sobukwe, Ahmed Sekou Touré, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, King Sobhuza II, Robert Mugabe, Thomas Sankara, Kwame Ture, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, Muammar Gaddafi. And lately, Professor P.L.O. Lumumba of Kenya, I really admire him, and Julius Malema of South Africa are carrying the batons, crusading and advocating unity principles in the fatherland. After reading or listening to their speeches for a few minutes, all I wanted to do was fix myself a glass of any brand of hard liquor and say to myself, look at these naive, nice folks, God forgive them, for they know not what they're talking about. I wonder if they had ever taken the time to look at the internal frictions within any family, their families. I want them to use my own family as case study, talk less of within any community, region, or the operational principles of nations comprising 54 countries. Many of these countries are closing their borders to their neighboring countries. Many are proposing to invade their neighbors in the name of maintaining dysfunctional demo-hyphenated crazy. I beg your pardon, I meant democracy, as spelled. These two gentlemen are even establishing an organization to promote their dreams. Permit me to ask these two gentlemen about this. Is it not the same fatherland where the 2024 Miss Universe first runner-up, Chidima Adetshina, a South Africa-born, father, a Nigerian and mother, Mozambican, was stripped of her South African citizenship during her effort to run for South Africa Miss Universe because her mother was alleged to have committed identity theft to become a South African national? Is she not a South African by birth? What has the sins of her mother got to do with her place of birth? How about this genius solution? Why can't the South African beauty pageant officials just corruptly denied her the title if she won and avoid the African disunity on display? I stand corrected. There's no corruption in that part of Africa, right? I am not going to be a spoiler of their hope and efforts, but their dream of African unity is just a dream. It won't work. I am still waiting for anyone to show me how any man has been able to control, I beg your pardon, manage one wife, talk less of two wives. One wife, one problem, two wives, two problems, my grandfather told me. He had 4 of them. Go figure. For instance, my good neighbor on the 3rd floor, apartment 511 on the Navy Boulevard, to protect his identity, could hardly manage one wife. I really pity the fellow for all his troubles. He's such a nice guy. We used to drink imported beer together on our day off from work before his wife put an end to that association. To her, I am single, and I must be relationship corrupt. She probably has a point. The other neighbor on my left is still convincing herself she can control her football quarterback boyfriend fiance of 7 years. I overheard her, on many occasions, telling her man, "It is this year or I am done." One of her threats was 3 weeks ago. I beg your pardon, walls have ears. Her finance looks like Brad Pitt at 35. I understood her dilemma. I understand the reason she is holding on to Mr. Pitt's image of a man. But she forgot. Mr. Pitt has many other willing, fresh, obedient, ready to serve. In order for corruption management to work, below are must-have characteristics from the citizens of hope. Otherwise, only dictatorship regime could achieve the strategies of good corruption management. Dictatorship is not a bad idea, if it will lead us to the promised land of good corrupt society with substance and make life better for more citizens. Family values. Family values must be improved and nurtured. Each member of the family and the village must know the difference between what is right from wrong and be willing to do the right things for the betterment of the community and country. These values must be internalized very early in life. They must agree and embark on what must be done to achieve good corruption. Charity must truly begin at home. Families must consider and realize the
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, please like this video, leave a comment, and definitely subscribe. Want to know what happens next? Be sure to follow to catch the very next chapter.